Hey everyone, welcome to week 3. Here are your video instructions for week 3, and I forgot to actually make this a student view so it looks like what you'll see. So for week 3, your projects are going to be all connected this week. So even though you have 3 different assignments, they're all related to each other, unlike the ones from last week. So this week we're going to talk about how misconceptions influence science learning. This is a big part of why students can come away from a lesson with some old ideas that don't get changed. And so you're going to do first an investigation on, how do misconceptions impact learning? And so you're going to go to these observation notes. And so I want you to first answer, so part 1 is you're just going to answer these questions the best you can. So what causes seasons? Why does the moon have phases? So all the way up until you get to this part 2. You are not being graded on whether you can answer the questions accurately. I don't want you to Google this. I really want to know, what did you learn over your education about these topics, and what misconceptions did you come away with after learning about these? Because that's what happens is students maintain misconceptions even after they've had specific instruction in the topics. And so first answer those questions, and then you're going to go back to the resources. There's 3 videos that you're going to watch. Those are under the Read, Watch, Listen. So these 3 videos, make sure you read the instructions on the notes, because it will tell you don't have to watch the entire video for all of them. So it'll tell you what videos to watch and how much time in those videos. Okay, so after you have finished, wrong document. After you've finished watching the videos, or while you're watching the videos, you're going to respond to the second part of this notes, and that gives you questions for each of the 3 videos. So make sure, again, here is where it tells you what, like for this one, you just watch the first 18 minutes. When this one, the first 19 minutes. So as you're watching them, go ahead and respond to these questions. Okay, so then you submit this. That's your first assignment. And then the second part of this is I'm going to go over the discussion forum next. So the discussion forum is about the same topic, and what you're going to do is you're going to actually conduct a study of some participants where you're going to give them a probe or some questions to see if they have misconceptions about a specific topic. So in the discussion, it asks you to pick one of these topics and talk about what phenomenon you picked, what were your ideas about it, what do you think, where do you think you picked up those ideas? Are you convinced that your idea was a misconception? Why or why not? So to be able to pick a topic, I want you to go to the resources here under resources. So these are the probes. So these are some questions that were developed in a probe fashion that will help uncover misconceptions. So for instance, like the going through a phase is the one I had open. So this actually asks questions like, which one of these students has the right idea, or which one do you agree with and why, and you explain that. So you're going to go through these probes, and you're going to pick a probe or a topic that you had some misconceptions about, or that you think your participants will have some misconceptions about. And so I'll go into that about how you do the study. So on the discussion forum, that's what you're talking about when you are writing about the topic. So the last assignment, which has many steps and is more complex, is the actual study. So looking at the examples of the probes I just showed you, you're going to choose a misconception topic to address. So you're going to need to find some participants to be your students in this. You can pick family members, you can pick students, maybe you're working in summer camp, or you have siblings or nieces and nephews. You can pick your parents, you can pick friends. The only thing you need to consider is whoever your participants are, you need to make sure you pick a probe that will be challenging enough to actually identify some misconceptions. So if you pick your parents and they have a lot of science background, you're going to have a more challenging time finding a misconception probe that they won't know the answers to. But as you see, there's often ones, even for people with science backgrounds, that will stump them. So just misconceptions that are really challenging and persistent. So make sure whoever your participants are that you pick a probe that will uncover misconceptions, because as you get into the study, if you don't, if you give them the probe and they know the answers, then you have to start from scratch with a new probe and maybe even different participants. So keep that in mind. If you can work with kids, it's best to try to find a couple kids. And you only need 2 participants to do the study with. Okay, so once you've chosen your participants, you've picked a couple of kids or friends, and you've picked your probe, then you're going to actually give them the probe. You're going to have them write their answers, and you're going to collect their written responses. So you'll use those later. So you'll identify what misconceptions they had, and then you're going to design a mini lesson, or about a 15-minute hands-on activity where you can help those students to address their misconceptions. So one of the nice things about the Page-Keeley probes is if you keep going, it actually gives you background. So it helps you to learn the concepts so you're able to teach them. It also has some ideas about how to address different middle school, high school, elementary. Talks about administering the probe, related research. It actually talks about some ideas for instruction and assessment. So that can help you think about your activity and what to do for the students. Remember, it has to be a hands-on activity so that they're actually doing something. And you'll find in your video research that hands-on activities are really the only thing that actually overcome some very persistent misconceptions. So once you have written up your lesson, you've taught it, then you're going to give the probe to your participants again and see if they've improved in their thinking, and then you're going to write a reflection about that. And so the template that you're going to use for the lesson is this one, and it's attached to the assignment. So it tells you how to complete that and then what to reflect on in your. So this also needs to be typed, and make sure that you fill in all the boxes. And so that's the last part of this assignment. This is going to take you probably a few days to do all parts of this, so make sure you get started on this early. And if you have any questions, please feel free. There's also this one's worth 25 points. So this is an assignment that's going to take some time, and you'll need to put some effort into it. So give me any questions you have. You can post in the help forum. You can send me emails. You can sign up for office hours if you need assistance on that. So that's for week 3. Those are your 3 assignments. And actually, if you look at the to-do list, it outlines as well the steps for each of these projects. And so you should have very detailed, thorough instructions to follow. All right, I look forward to seeing the results of your study, and we will connect next week.